Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us on another night, and one that's been a while for LexaCrunch. As per usual, we'll go left to right. We'll introduce our hosts. Yes, Chesh, you're on the left. We'll go ahead and do the introduction as per usual. You know what? Fuck you,
Look.
Chesh. We're changing it around. We're going right to left.
Okay, I wasn't actually going to make the joke for once.
I
But
don't
why?
believe you. All right, we'll start on the far right.
But why?
Because fuck Chesh, that's why.
Hey, I'm Jeff from MTGLexicon, and yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, what's up, everybody? My name is Brandon, aka the producer, host at MTGLexicon, and I'll pass it over to the left to our brother from another country.
From another show. Bring on the pain, bring on the noise, bring on the energy, baby. Hey everyone, I am Chesh from that other Commander podcast that you've probably heard about that goes for like 3 or 4 hours and has questions like, why the fuck would you like pineapple and pizza, you ugly son of a bitch? Called CMDR Crunch. And I am, of course, from Australia.
Is that a real place?
No, it is not. I will remind people that famously Australia has been referred to as an actors' studio filled with actors and doesn't actually exist. That's why our gun violence is probably the lowest, I believe, in the world of any country. The fact that we somehow managed to ban actual guns from our country, for the most part, like from ordinary citizens in 1996, and after having the world's largest, still holding the fucking record for a mass murder, mass shooter incident. It was the most fatalities. We still hold that record. Go us. But we managed to get rid of the guns, and there hasn't been one since. So if you believe that you should be entitled to open and carry a firearm, this is a middle finger. It shoots blanks, but I tell you what, it shoots directly at you. And if we can do it, any country can do it. People were not happy to turn in their weapons back in the late 90s, but they did it. And now I don't fear going to a tourist attraction and getting shot in the fucking head. Or a school, or a car park, or a street during a BLM fucking, rally, or anything. I don't have to worry about going to a shopping center wearing a ballistics jersey.
How's my volume?
Yeah, it's fine.
Wow,
Volume
Jeff
good?
coming in with the real questions here. Oh my god. Yes. Okay. Anyways.
So, how's America doing on those school shootings? Oh wait, there was another one.
I haven't shot anyone, so
just the
I feel
bi-weekly occurrence, the usual.
the usual. All right, so
Thanks for asking.
As per usual, we're gonna start off with a quick little segment of Magic news. I don't think anything really exciting has come out in Magic news.
Incorrect.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead and.
In perhaps the most important news of the year is that my show Commander the Distancing is on hiatus until sometime in January.
Are you hosted by Wizards of the Coast?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we haven't.
Brandon, why the fuck would you even ask
since
that question?
Yeah, we haven't worked with
You're not.
Wizards since the pandemic
I
started.
don't know.
And
I
they
don't know if he was sponsored, whether that was like.
No.
Doesn't matter.
We haven't been sponsored on any of our content since the pandemic started. and Wizards decided to basically withdraw the ANZ Discord server
Okay.
because that was a fucking great move. And then got all these other streamers from other games and gave them product and stuff and preview cards and basically didn't give a fuck about their content creators who had laid the groundwork for the last 10 years. So, I don't know. Just saying. I'm not getting a Christmas card this year, that's for sure.
Yeah, I got a little bit of Magic news, actually, that I want to talk about.
Do it.
Okay.
Bring it.
All right. So here's the Magic news. Tomorrow's Saturday, and if you don't have work, I want you to get up early. Go to bed a little early and get up early. We're talking like 6, 7 a.m., maybe even 5. Nothing ridiculous. Just get up early, get a cup of coffee, do whatever it is you need to do.
Like have sex?
Pour some
Because
cereal.
morning sex is the best.
Have some morning sex.
Yes.
But
I did that this morning.
But afterwards, congratulations. But
Thank
afterwards, you when you still got the little bit of morning sleepiness, the sand in your eyes, rub the sand out of your eyes and put on a Saturday got nothing to do outfit.
Please don't rub your eyes, but yes.
And take yourself out of the house, go for a walk. This is why I said early. Make sure there's not too many people around. Go somewhere. Go on the top of the roof of your unit. Go to the bay, and just kind of watch the sun sort of rise. Right, just that nice little quiet, misty morning hour, and look at the sunset, and just think to yourself, why the fuck would they remove silver borders from the onset?
I thought you meant looking at the sunrise, not the sunset, because it's the morning and that's when the sun rises, not sets. But
I thought I said my brain said sunrise, my mouth said sunset.
Sunset for sure.
The point is that you're there the whole time until sunset.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna put it out there. Here's the thing, and this is not verbatim, but this is pretty much the philosophy of uncards. If anyone's maybe not aware, uncards are created because they are outside the game, technically speaking. A lot of the cards in an unset that are silver bordered aren't playable in any other part of the game. Right?
Yeah.
You can't play them in historic. You can't play them in legacy.
Mm-hmm.
You can't play them in standard. The reason that they had the silver border was to identify that card cannot be played in the main game. Now, Here's the thing. When you remove that silver border and they become black bordered, well, that's just going against everything Wizards said that they were going to do and that they have been doing with like promos and stuff. So Wizards, how the fuck are new players going to know that these aren't to be played in like actual Magic games?
That's why I built up to this question. Like it just makes zero sense on any level, period. If you want to get new players into the game, if they're trying to get more and more players, and then you have this like goofy ass set, which is like by all means, I love it. I fucking love unsets. I do. But then you're just going to remove one of the defining characteristics of the set that distinguishes it, like you said, from the rest of the cards. We have the gold border cards or whatever, but has a signature on them, and these are cards that are and they have a different back on them. It says like world was it the
World Championship?
Yeah, the World Championship series. But these are, it bends the mind. It just sort of makes me think, what conversation happened at what level to make this go through? And the messaging behind it doesn't give me any good answers as to why they were doing. They're just like, "Yep, we're changing this to make it look like all the other Magic cards," and then everyone's like, "But why?" It's kind of like you know what it feels like. It feels like if your friend just sort of gets up in the middle of dinner and just walks out of the house, and you're like, "Why did you leave?" And then they're like, "Well, I was done eating." And you're like, "That doesn't answer the. You know what I'm asking? Why did you just leave without saying anything?"
Actually, I'd probably put it. It's more akin to wiping your ass with your hand rather than toilet paper, right?
For wizards, yeah, but it just I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really
That's
love
that's
the.
that's what I mean.
I
Because
just really.
it feels like it's just missing that step, right? Like, well, why would you do this without like including this thing? Because this thing is an integral part to showing this other thing, like to doing this other thing. So if you're wiping your ass with your hand and not paper in between, you're just getting shit all over your hand, because you decided to fuck up. Like maybe you're just like really fucking drunk and you went home and you're like, I need to take drunk bog. I don't know anyone who's ever been that drunk. I'm just going to put it out there that they haven't been able to like wipe with paper, even if they end up with the paper stuck in their asshole. But wizards definitely at this point have their finger in their ass and are using no toilet paper, and I don't understand why.
No, I was talking about it from the customer perspective.
Oh, customers are stupid anyway.
Thanks.
Well, I guess that's us included. Thank God.
Well, I mean, I haven't bought Magic products in 6 to 8 months, so.
Hmm.
All right then.
Unfinity. Unfinity. Are you kidding me?
What are you what are you playing with down there, Chesh?
I'm reading about the unset that they've called Unfinity.
Oh yeah, yeah, it makes me
That's
very upset.
that's a
Well,
vomit name.
yes, it is. It is a it is
And I will point out that Mark Rosewater had made some comments about 3 or 4 years ago about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If anyone wants to dig those up, and I can't remember what the exact quote was, but I remember him saying something about relating Magic sets to to Marvel's MCU with the way that the sets flow. And now I'm like, oh really? And then you called this one Unfinity. Why don't you just call it Unfinity War and be fucking done with it?
Because it seems like whatever model they were going to use or replicate, it's more of a release schedule than it is a concept like saying truth. I don't know. It just seems like botched, not well thought out, rushed, and a cash grab, which
I
is
wouldn't say a cash grab, but look, when it comes down to it, this is more or less this is Mark Rosewater and Wizards not knowing how their design actually affects Magic. And I'll tell you this. So the original reason for the silver border, right, was because the cards were not just outside of the rules, even though they worked within most of the confines of the rules, right? One of the
we're talking about two different things. I wasn't specifically speaking about the unset. I was specifically speaking about the concept of them trying to relate their releases to the Marvel universe.
yeah, but I'm moving it back to the unset.
Okay, I'm just differentiating our points just for listening audience.
That's
Also,
fine.
yes, continue on with the unset. changing it to silver border is kind of a shot in the foot. I don't think any of
it's ridiculous for not just the reasons we've already cited. So, but one of the things is that unsets are generally a testing ground for mechanics and card types that may or may not appear in future blackboarded sets. However, the power level of these cards is generally cranked up to make them more fun because it's an unset, right?
Or cranked sideways, or
Or
Yeah,
just
go ahead.
cranked like contraptions, yes.
Yeah,
The
contraption.
problem is that if you decide to make them blackboardy, you're actually making them legal in Commander, right? Now, 5 seconds of reading literally on that article, Mark Rosewater even basically says, where is it? Why couldn't casual formats make use of the host/augment or contraptions? You're right. Why couldn't they? Because they're not that overpowered. However, Mark, there's a bunch of shit in the last unset that is way overpowered. I for one, looked at some certain particular cards that I know Caitlin, my co-host of Commander of the Gathering, loves to play, to create, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth sub-games where everyone's now playing under table, under table, under table, under table to get all these other different games done, is a problem, right? That's why, what is it, Shahrazad, I think it is, that creates a secondary game,
Yes.
was banned in Commander and still is.
Yes.
There's a fucking reason for that.
Yes.
And then you brought the card back in an unset and made it even more unbalanced. And now what you're telling me is that if there is a Shahrazad type card in this set, that either it's going to be legal or the Commander Council is going to have to ban it, right? That's a prime example of why unsets have been silver bordered and not moved to black border. So moving the whole set to black border, I mean, it's gonna be a fucking trip, especially when people figure out how broken some of that shit can be.
Well, this whole thing, now that you've explained it like this, and because the sub game only works in a draft format, I guess, maybe as a 60 to 40 card deck, right? 2 players. That could be really wacky and something to do with your friends. Sure. Yeah. But a 4, 5, 6 player Commander game where everyone's playing a sub game and then another sub game, that's ridiculous. So they're like, hey, Uncards are really wacky and fun, and people seem to enjoy that. Oh, also, people really enjoy doing really wacky and fun things in Commander. Why not combine the two? So instead of creating a new set that has wild stuff that can, sure, be targeted towards Commander, fuck it, why not? It's lazy. They just decided to make an unset Commander legal. Because now Commander is probably the most profitable paper margin, right?
Yeah.
So
it has been for years. They just didn't want to tell anyone until the pandemic started.
Exactly. So they're like, let's make the unset legal for Commander because everyone likes to do funny and wacky stuff. So let's just make it even more funny and wacky. This is gonna fall flat on its fucking face. Make a set with funny and wacky stuff, but legal and balanced and not an unset. Come on. Instead of doing the research about your own fucking game and finding interactions that would be fun and wacky, you just make an unset like a lazy fucking bastard and just make it Commander legal. This is laziness. This is just cutting so many fucking corners. Know your product. Do the research. Find interactions that would be fun that you know are staples in a lot of modern Commander decks. Then make a set geared towards that. Don't just make a fucking unset legal in Commander. That's lazy as shit. Are you kidding me? Where's QA? Where the fuck is QA on this shit? Their QA department is doing nothing.
I'll also point out that it states here that there was also 2 Eternal cards that were revealed from the set. 2 Eternal cards were revealed from the set. Eternal cards. Cards to be played in Eternal. You want to know what their fucking names are? Saw in Half, right? Not so bad.
I saw that one.
The Space Family Goblinson in Eternal. The art is pretty cute, though. I'll give it that much. Okay, so let's have a quick look at this. The Space Family Goblinson is legendary creature goblin guest. It is 2 colors, a red and a green. The Space Family Goblinson has trample as long as you've rolled 3 or more dice this turn. Whenever you roll a die, put a +1/+1 counter on the Space Family Goblinson. Yeah, hey, so I don't want to see this in Commander because that is fucked. That's gonna fuck shit up real bad. All right, good work, Wizards. Good work.
Yeah, I got nothing to say to that.
This is even better. The Space Family Goblinson is one of 30 legendary creatures in Infinity. Yeah, about 1/3 of these are Eternal cards that are playable in Commander. Now, how you would determine how they're playable in Commander or not, that's going to be an interesting one to tell. But I mean, how are you going to expect them not to be played in Commander? Are you going to have a special typing that says that they can't be played in Commander? I don't believe so. This whole thing is just fucking stupid. I went on record on the podcast on the last episode, I think it was, of the podcast that I was on, where I basically said, when it comes down to it, the year of Commander has been the worst year of Magic, because of all of the sets that have focused on Commander type stuff. In regards to not main sets, but the actual supplemental product that goes with those sets. In other words, the Commander decks, the price of those decks, the fact that we're getting Commander decks every month, pretty much, which means that no one can really get them all. The shortages that have been seen around certain decks because of specific cards being printed, even though Wizards were like, well, we know we fucked up and we're not going to do that again, and then they went and did it again. The fact that we saw $20 Commander decks turn into $60 Commander decks again because, these ones are from a main set, so they're going to cost you more. Not because they have any different with their printing, because they're printed exactly the same way. They contain the same amount of foil cards, 2 foil cards. They're packaged exactly the same way. It's just the fact that Wizards decided that they would put up the price for, a main set Commander deck versus not a main set Commander deck, because they were like, well, now we can, so all of the future Commander decks are now going to be 3 times the price because people are going to buy them.
Yeah.
And now we're at the point where even I, who was so positive at the start of all of this, going I don't feel oversaturated. I feel a bit oversaturated on actual sets, but not on Commander product. And now I'm sitting here going I haven't bought Commander product in 8 months. I actually haven't bought Magic product in around 8 months. I haven't bought a single fucking booster pack. I haven't bought a single. I've been trying to build decks and then looking at every single card that I can for that particular deck and then just going, but why am I doing this? Because we're now reaching a point where it's regardless of who you are or where you come from, if you play Magic, you are being inundated with Magic stuff constantly.
Yeah.
Dear Wizards, just go back to 3 sets a year or some shit. I think most of us would be happy, instead of a set every 3 fucking weeks.
Let me turn up my volume since I'm further away from my mic. How's that?
You sound fine.
Okay. Last set I bought was the last Commander set. I've been buying Commander sets every year. I mean Commander pre-builts, pre-cons, yeah.
No.
I've been.
Yeah, and look, I had a couple of people come to me asking me like if I was going to restart my Commander videos on my YouTube, and I just flat out told them no, because like for somebody like me who's investing money in other areas to try and like get business type stuff off the ground, etc. I don't have money to like go and spend on Commander decks, and if Wizards don't want to support Australian content creators like myself with like with what they used to do, which was sometimes I would get a set of the decks to pull apart and to do upgrade videos on, like, hey, here's what you get, and here's some of the cool upgrades that you could do for the deck to make it like better. Here's the pros and cons. Although constantly telling us to never talk about like price of singles, which was fucking stupid, by the way. Like trying to cut out the fact that there is a secondary market, like, is a really stupid idea, because most of the people want to see budget videos on, okay, well, if I buy this deck at $40, $50, $60, I want to put another like $10 in it. Like, what's the best thing I can do for $10? But if Wizards are going to support the Australian content creators, and I'm sure that other content creators around the world, especially in the UK and New Zealand, feel the same way. I don't know about US. It seems like US content creators are still getting product from what I can see. But without getting that product, like, I'm not going to go out of my way to make Wizards look good when they just basically ignore the content creators. They bring out so much, so many decks, which is a heap of content that we could be doing, but that's a heap of unpaid advertising and stuff that we're doing for Wizards. Even back when we were getting, decks, it was very unusual for us to get, a sealed box. We would literally just get the decks and then be expected to pump out, 5 videos within a month. And it's like, it's a lot of editing, a lot of writing, and I did it every single time without complaint, without pause. But when you're bringing out this much product all the time, I would literally be like working every month on 5 different videos for the most part, trying to push out only that content, and would never be able to do any other content. Like, because my weekends would be booked up with editing and writing and drawing up deck guides, and whoa, that's just too much, even for content creators to have to deal with.
Mm.
Welcome to the State of Magic podcast.
Yeah, you're muted, Brandon.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just nodding and agreeing. I agree. You guys are bringing up good points and things that I would say, so I mean, I'm not gonna duplicate that. But
Oh no, you're not muted anymore. I don't know what you did, but
he rubbed one out.
I literally just clicked the unmute button.
So
I think that's it for Magic.
Yeah, Magic the Gathering. I mean, that was a good conversation. A lot of disappointment, a lot of sadness.
Magic the disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, I still like the hobby. I mean, we're still gonna keep making Commander content. We're still going to keep doing this show as little as attention as we get.
Yeah, and Commander Crunch will be back next year, obviously. So it's not like I'm gonna back off and doing some of the projects I love, but
you guys are great. I'm just kind of like wondering, like, how fake do we have to be to like make it in the Magic world. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I like to think I always pushed it how it is. There
yeah,
was one point there where I've been told it's not correct, but I very much felt like I was blacklisted for a period of time.
why is
After
that?
that, there was a preview card that I got from Wizards. The preview was released too early, not of my fault, but of the person who gave me said preview card. I released it on time as per their request, which was number one, which brought Wizards to my doorstep to go, hey, what are you doing? Like Wizards US. And then there was a situation where a troll was trolling me on Twitter and on YouTube. I stood up for myself and said, it doesn't matter because nobody loves you anyway. And apparently Wizards US found that to be extremely offensive. And Wizards US called me. Yep. Wizards US called me and berated me about it. And then Wizards here in Australia, the rep here in Australia, also called me and explained to me that even though he was on my side, that he was requested to reprimand me and put me on the no product list for the next commander set that came out after that, and that I should just wait for 2 months and let it blow over. As anyone knows, I don't take these things like that, and I didn't let it blow over. And I did contact a rep with US Wizards that wasn't the person who called me, who seemed to be somewhat aware of the situation, who pretty much proceeded to tell me that I wasn't blacklisted, that they felt it was a mistake. And I was like, yes, the mistake is your company's mistake, because it's not like I told the person to kill themselves, which I would never do.
Yeah.
I simply told them that nobody loved them because they were a troll, and I was standing up for myself. So,
Yeah. So if that's all it took for you to get that kind of tongue lashing giggity by Wizards, then we are for sure blacklisted. We we make dick jokes.
well,
We
no.
talk
So
about,
I swear in videos. I think I'm pretty much dropped like sexual innuendo on a couple of cards in my videos. They haven't cared about anything like that. But
really.
as soon as the troll thing happened, after the card being released early, that's when they decided that they would have a problem with me, and it was like, well,
Yeah.
did you not look at my content before then? Like, because anything I could have said, really, like, the fact that I dropped the word cunt in a video, in one of the actual Commander games that we played, which allegedly I've been told is like most offensive to Americans, because for some reason they think that
it's a powerful word. It's got the k and the and the
The guttural
it's
stop
a
at the end is where it gets most Americans.
fucking
it's
cat.
it's yeah, it's amazing. It's such a it feels so good to say. Very
Which is funny
powerful
because
word.
I do remember. I'm pretty sure I've had the conversation with both Mark Rosewater when I met him in Sydney many, 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 many moons ago, when he was still traveling around for for big events, as well as Gavin Verhey. I'm pretty sure I've had the conversation with him as well. As like both of them were shocked when they came to Australia for the first time, because they hear us like slinging cunt at each other and like, you're such a fucking cunt, in such a loving way, and they're like, but like, why are they angry at each other? And then listening to like the vernacular and like how Australians just kind of tie in like, you're a bit of a shithead, or you're a bit of a shit cunt, or whatever. It's not us going like, you've got to read behind it and you've got to hear the intent rather than like hearing the word. If I go, hi, you're a bit of a shit cunt, I'm basically calling you a bit of a larrikin or a bit of a joker, But if I call you a fucking shit cunt, it means that I want to take you outside and beat the absolute fucking daylights out of you, which is completely different,
Well,
so.
you have to read the the tone, right?
The subtext.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the subtext and the tone.
And
What's
I'm sure there are contexts where you can call someone a fuck, but in a tone that would you're just super fucked up over a joke that they said, and you guys are. It's a tone. It's the context and the tone.
Mm-hmm.
and us as Americans, you think we with our edgy humor because we're the masters of edgy humor, but as soon as someone said like your mom joke or whatever, we're so fucking sensitive. We're little bitches in America when it comes to like
the amount of times.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've been on a podcast or like a show or something, and I've got a your mum joke, and everyone just goes,
yeah.
And I'm like, what? Is your mum dead? Because like my partner's mum died of cancer, and like during one of our first dates, I think it was the second date, I dropped a your mum joke, and like I have no problems at all with like fuck your mum, at all. Even if your mum is dead, I'll apologize, but I'm not going to take back the joke because I'm a man of the '90s, and I still find your mum jokes like extremely funny. But you're right, like it's the weird. Americans get offended by the weirdest shit.
Yeah,
but like, but you guys call a vagina a fanny? No, that's us. We like a fanny is the front bum, not the back one.
No, fanny's the back bum. Fanny's the back one.
It's always the back.
So when you have a fanny pack, like to us, that's like some sort of pack you wear on the front, like over the vagina.
No, we still call it a fanny pack, which is
confusing.
But a fanny pack is a bum. It's a bum bag, right? A fanny pack is generally worn with the pack at the back. It's generally worn on the back. That's why they call it a fanny pack. But in Australia, it makes more sense than if you're wearing it on the front. Because we fanny pack.
Fanny packs are worn on the front over here.
No, they used to be on the back.
Yeah,
for many decades, they used to be on the back. That's why they were called a fanny pack.
Oh, I grew up in the '90s, so I had a fanny pack and I wore it on the front. In fact, let's bring back fanny packs. Let's fucking do it. I don't care anymore. I'm undateable enough as. I'm gonna have a JanSport fanny pack. I'm gonna load it up with. I'm gonna load it up with fucking. I'm gonna have a Sharpie. I'm gonna put my phone in there. I'm gonna put hand sanitizer.
He's gonna vajazzle it.
I'm gonna have 2 or 3 of the masks and little plastic packages.
Don't forget your glitter sparkle glue that you're gonna keep in there too.
Oh, you're talking about my sparkle glue stick, bitch?
Yeah. Oh, I'm
sorry. You don't even see the sparkles
and your lip
that you're putting. Yeah, my chapstick. I don't have any. I don't have dry lips, which is great. I just have really thin lips because I'm white. These things are like 2 fucking pieces of lined binder paper on my face. It's a tragedy.
I'm white, and I think I've got pretty big lips.
Your lips are fine. My lips are like that of a turtle.
Mine are that of a Scotsman.
Yeah, I'm. Oh man, I gotta do a lot of work. I gotta do a lot of work on my body to be happy.
Yeah, me too. I think I'm still like 130 kilos. I ain't lost no weight.
I feel it. I'm slowly gaining weight. I think it's because I'm getting older. At least I stopped smoking. I think I still want to right now. A little bit.
I highly think that my stopping smoking 5-6 years ago, my cold turkey has led to me now being 130 kilos. Because I'm no longer smoking. Not that I ever remember like smoking like augmenting my appetite at all. So I don't know. It's a weird thing.
It helps
But I
me.
definitely put on weight since,
It helps me.
apparently I'm just not doing enough Coke, really.
It changes my appetite. I think I went through a few binge diets where I would just like consume nothing for like 3 to 4 days at a time, but coffee. And that's probably not healthy at all.
Yeah, it's very,
Um,
very not healthy.
no, but I did lose a lot of weight. And I did feel, and I'm on the razor's edge of going back into I click with, and I'm like, oh, I'm a dumpy piece of shit. I need to like lose weight to them, but I probably already lost that battle. I have nowhere near the level of confidence it requires to be someone. So I think
What's confidence?
what's confidence? You have it.
I really don't.
Yeah.
People think that I'm extremely confident. Um, not not actually the case. I've just forced myself for so long to be an extrovert that it looks like confidence. That I look like I could just pull shit off because I'm real confident about it. It's like, no, I pull shit off because I force myself to be an extrovert. Like, it's not confidence at all. It's absolutely not even close to anything I would consider to be confidence. Like, yeah.
Apparently, my mic keeps cutting out.
It does a little bit.
Yeah. It's either your Discord or your microphone itself. But on the point of, COVID hit, I put on almost like 30 pounds over the course of COVID. And one of the reasons...
How many fucking kilos is that, mate?
That's 5,000 kilos.
That is incorrect. I think you will find at, what was it, 30? So it's about 12.5 kilos, maybe?
All right. I'll let the Australian do the math then. But recently, 2 months ago, I made an odd change that I have lost 20 pounds over the past... just short of 20 pounds. So yeah. I'm at
13.6 kilograms. You're welcome.
Lost so far. And that is in between playing games. So I play a lot of multiplayer games. In between games where the game's loading or I'm waiting in a lobby, I'll actually sit and not sit, but I'll get up and I'll do 4 burpees. And if I play for hours on end, that's a lot of burpees. I get tired and then I just pass out or do something else. But I've been doing that for the past 2 months and I've lost 16 to 17 pounds as of today. So it has been making a difference, but I have to consciously do it in between games and stuff like that.
Nice.
And unfortunately, work has gotten extremely stressful. So I picked up smoking again, but I still drink like I used to. I think if I cut out drinking, I would lose weight faster, but I'm not about to quit drinking.
Yeah, I'm not about to quit drinking either. How's my mic?
It's still cutting in and out, yeah. Try dropping the Discord and then reconnect.
Amazing.
It might just be Discord.
Is this any better?
Yeah, actually, a little bit, but let's see before if it cuts out or not.
Okay. I got a Focusrite. I got a Scarlett. The 1 input, 1 output, and this microphone. And I made sure to adjust the bit rate and all that fun stuff. And it just
could also be the microphone. I run a Scarlett too, and the stream runs off of a Scarlett, so it could just be the microphone.
This microphone is...
Don't mind me, I muted so I could fart, and then it turns out that fart was actually kind of smelly.
Anyways, Jeff, you were saying?
So classy.
I got this microphone that it's like pretty much a brand new microphone. They had a wire reconnected, and it seems to be working fine. I guess.
Well, you're not cutting out anymore. So whatever change you made,
anymore. I turned up the volume and then I turned it back down.
Oh, you know what? You could be clipping. You could absolutely be clipping, and it could pretty much just cut your signal if you clip too hard.
Oh, okay.
I'll turn you up on my side, Jeff. Don't make any changes.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh, wait. You're at like 200% on my side already. Let me move you to 100% and then try to say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're much quieter on that. We can play around and tweak with it. I'll put you back up at 200.
Yeah, it's
So, I watched Venom Let There Be Carnage the other night.
Oh, it is better than the first, but still fucking atrocious.
Is it better than the first?
It is. I think it is better than the first,
I-
but I still
I
don't
think-
like it.
I think it's fucking on par with the first. It's
I didn't say like leaps and bounds.
trash bag.
It's
I don't think it's better than the first at all. I think that it's absolutely on par with being just fucking mediocre.
if I
just
remember
mediocre.
correctly, Venom has 5 kids throughout the
Yes.
history, right?
Yeah.
And they ended Let There Be Carnage with a lead in to the next kid, right? Because the
Yeah.
cop got the
Yeah.
Venom strain.
Is it like psychosis or something? I can't remember.
Something like that. Shitter, something. I can't remember.
Yeah. Flusher. Puncher. Oh no, wait, that's
But
Ghostbusters. Fuck you,
it was
Sony.
still just. I still don't like it. I didn't like the first one. I don't like
It
this
just-
one. It's
just
missing so much. But the funny thing is my girlfriend loves the shit out of it. She loved the first one and she loves the second one. And everyone who I
Because
talk
of
to
Tom
that
Hardy?
loves. I like Tom Hardy. I think Tom Hardy's a good actor.
Tom Hardy's a great actor, but he phoned it the fuck in.
I think Tom Hardy is great in everything but Venom.
Yeah.
Well, he phoned it. He was just like, they're just like, here, Tom Hardy, here's a lot of money, and he's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
No, he's like, oh, okay.
here's
You're
where
right, mate.
here's where I sit with the movie. I think it's a good movie for people who like campy, superhero style sci-fi ish movies. I think it has a niche that it fills for those people who don't like hardcore superhero, who don't like hardcore sci-fi, who don't like hardcore one thing or another. I think it fills the niche of campy for those people. And just like my girlfriend's like, oh, I really love fantasy. So we watched like fantasy movies. And she's like, I hated those movies. And then she puts on like, I don't know, something like cheesy fantasy. And it just, she loves that shit way more. And I'm just like, how? Because she doesn't like Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, that is the definition of fantasy.
That is the definition of fantasy.
and-
that is
and
the
then she turns
benchmark
around-
pinnacle.
And she turns around and then watches like, you know, what's that vampire show that's like super campy that went for like
Which
10,000 Vampire Diaries.
oh,
And she's like, that's the
I was gonna
fantasy
say
I like.
Supernatural.
see, I thought you were gonna say
she loves
True Blood, and
Supernatural too. She
I was
loves
gonna go, yeah,
Supernatural too.
True Blood. I
True
can
Blood,
kind of see, but
yeah.
Vampire Diaries is just like, it's almost as bad as that other one with the fucking werewolves. You know, it's like a bunch of like teen adults sleeping with each other and having, you know, domestic drama issues, and it's just like,
No, True Blood was
The
good. I like True Blood, and I would not.
yeah,
call
no,
True
that's
Blood
the
not
distinction I'm
campy.
making here. I'm saying that, you know, the Vampire Diaries is horrible,
Yeah,
whereas True Blood was extremely passable for
a legitimate, like semi-realistic take on it.
yeah, late adult style, you know, like dealing with things like, okay, well, you know, their black cook is gay, you know, Lafayette. And if anyone's not seen the show, the dude who plays Lafayette is just,
He's good.
whew, holy shit, is he good?
Yeah,
He is fucking good in that role. And hearing like interviews with him and stuff as well, he's like incredibly smart. Just you can tell by the way he talks, his cadence and everything.
and the way he presents himself, he doesn't hold himself like he's forcing it or anything else like that. It's like a natural feeling, and it's convincing. Everything he
Yeah,
does.
and it's funny because the first time that you watch True Blood, and when you're first introduced to Lafayette, you're just like, oh, this is just like stereotypical gay camp character. Like,
Why
okay,
is he
great,
here?
thanks. Yeah, and then as you watch the show, you're like, oh no, it's not at all. Like,
It's the
Lafayette
commitment to the
is played-
role, yeah.
is played off like that, but he's absolutely not that character at all.
Yeah.
Like, you start seeing like the depth of the actual character. Whereas the Vampire Diaries is just full of like Joni sleeps with Jason, but Jason's dating Dana, and Dana's like fantasizing over some other dude or some shit. And it's just like it's that teen drama crap that's just like been done 1,000 million times, and it's just like just the most kind of not that I want to shit on the writers, but let's be honest, bottom of the barrel, stereotypical, tropey teen drama shit. You know, you could paint it whatever the fuck you want. It's going to be the same show. You know, you could make it just a show about like freaks and geeks. You know, you could just put all the freaks and geeks characters in there. It's the same fucking show. You could put Twilight characters in there. It's the same show. You can put a bunch of firefighters in there, and it's the same. Like, nothing fucking changes. It's the same thing. It's just a teen drama with the coat of vampires over the top. What was it called? Twinks, I think it was called, which is not what you expect it to be from that name. No joke. TWINX, Twinks. It's on Netflix, and I watched a couple of episodes, and it's exactly that, except it's fairies. It's a teen drama with fairies. But, you know, like, fairy child thinks that they're human until they're found out to be a fairy, and then is shuffled off to fairy school with a bunch of other fairies, and they're fighting against, like, these kind of bad zombie fairies that are, like, apparently taint anything that they touch, that any magic that they touch becomes like tainted magic, and just why? But you know, people watch this shit because...
I've seen this show. I think in America it's called The Walking Dead.
No, it's not, but it may as well be.
Nice, Jeff. I like that.
But
People
yeah,
are still
like,
into The Walking Dead, surprisingly. As soon as it broke off from season 1 from the graphic novel, I just stopped watching it.
I stopped watching after like episode 1. I was just like, yep, this isn't for me, I'm done. And then the Negrin stuff, you know, when that eventually happened, and I was like, super happy I'm not invested in watching this show. I'll go back to Supernatural, where, you know, where my particular human-hating, allegedly, Jensen Ackles is hanging out, you know.
God damn it. I fucking hate this microphone stand. What the fuck? I've been trying to
I thought he was going to say that about Jensen Ackles. I was going to say, you know, sorry, alleged.
Fucking damn it.
For those that
Fuck
don't know,
you.
There was a big thing about Jensen Ackles being outed as like hating the trans community or something or other, and then Jensen like came out and was like, "No, you took it completely out of context." And then, you know, and if you watch the thing that was taken out of context in its entirety, you can go, "Oh yeah, actually that kind of was." So a bunch of people were trying for some reason to like cancel Jensen Ackles when Jensen Ackles was like not actually what Jensen Ackles said.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Supernatural.
Well, what I've been trying to like ask this whole time.
Oh, sorry, Jeff.
Since I've been trying. Well, I've been fighting with my fucking microphone this entire fucking time.
What is Twinks?
No, wasn't Woody Harrelson in the new Carnage movie?
Yeah, he is Carnage.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Is Woody Harrelson good? I like Woody Harrelson.
No. I think he's a good actor. I think the script writing for the movie made him a 5-year-old. He was not a convincing Carnage, and his actions were undeemably unjustifiable for his character, I think.
What is Carnage like a deep character in the Spideyverse?
Yes.
There's a lot behind Carnage. In fact, Carnage Carnage live well, depending on which universe you're in. Carnage lives
You are, yeah.
past the rest of the Avengers in many
Wow.
different comics, and
All
because
right.
he's a symbiote, he actually
Okay.
is a part.
All
of
right,
it and shares
don't
knowledge.
nerd out on me. I don't give a fuck.
The same with Venom. Can I nerd out on
Yeah,
you about the
yeah.
Lethal Protector?
All right.
And then Agent Venom.
I literally don't care. I just care about Woody Harrelson's performance.
Okay, well, let me continue then.
I don't care about your fucking Carnage lore. Shut up. Go to hell.
Actually, it's funny you should bring up lore, as we like to do on this particular podcast.
It's actually Jeff's favorite when you talk deep lore.
Exactly, deep lore, like deep anal.
Yeah,
yeah, just
deep.
getting fucking.
I
in
love
this,
deep
fucking
anal. I'm down for that. No.
So, obviously, Brandon, you have seen the movie. Did you ever see any of Carnage's axes? The very much like preferred Carnage weapon, which is a crescent moon axe that he forms with his hands. Did you ever see a single one?
They had the sword, the spikes, and the needles.
Yep, and no crescent moon axe.
Huh. I actually didn't even think about that, to be honest. I was so appalled by the movie.
It was the first thing I looked for. What did you also think about the story of can we do spoilers?
Man, I love
Jeff, I love how I don't want to hear any more of this, and we're diving deeper.
I love how I picked out the movie for this week, and nobody. Now we're. I have.
Jeff,
it's like what a twist. My mic's cutting out again.
Yeah, it's cutting out again.
Is it? How about now? Is it cutting out now?
You have to talk for a while. It's only after like a couple of minutes does it cut out again.
Oh, it's so fucking cool that I got this like expensive ass fucking microphone and this fucking audio interface that I set up to the instructions, and it's cutting out all the fucking time.
I don't think
it's
the interface. I've never had issues with my Scarletts.
Oh yeah, you never had issues with. Oh, you know, Jeff, you just do everything right.
I'm just saying something's wrong, and like I said earlier, I'm happy to
come over to my fucking house and figure this shit out, because I can't figure this fucking shit out. All right, I'm connected. I'm not even connected by Wi-Fi. I'm connected directly to my gateway, and this shit's lighting up every time I talk, but I guess it's still cutting out. Yeah, when you got loud, I think. Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, okay.
Could be clipping. Still could be clipping. I don't know.
Still could be clipping. All right, seems to work for you.
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm also running on a FET head, which is a pre-amplification in line. So it adds 26 dB to my line microphone, so I don't actually have to use gain on my microphone.
Oh, good for you, Brandon.
I mean, I paid the extra money for it, so yeah, I guess.
Shut up, you cunt.
Anyways,
so Jeff, are you gonna end up watching? Let there be
No, I'm not gonna wait. If Woody Harrelson is good in it, then I'll give.
Okay, good.
G3, when you get loud, I think whenever you open your fucking mouth, the mic clips. G3, all right. You breathe and you're in clipping territory.
Oh my god.
So before we start on that, I just want to point out that your choice of movie was from like 6 weeks ago, so you know.
Yeah, it should have been watched by everybody. Anything outside of that is just filler.
Well,
so you had 6 weeks to watch it. Is
people
what you're
forget because
so you had 6 weeks to watch as well.
Always send reminders like I do every time I choose a fucking movie. Just saying. Now
it's fine. We'll still watch it. We'll do it for next week or
next
upcoming one.
Next fortnight.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll
I'm not bitter about that. I'm just in a bad mood now because of
now the thing I wanna say here is #spoilers. So Brandon, what did you think of the new storyline for how Carnage comes into the fucking world?
Well, before I answer that, let's let Jeff actually take over here for a minute, because it's been you and me the whole time. I'm going to give Jeff a chance to either talk about something else or Burgess or whatever, because you and I have been blasting on about this.
No, I was. That's actually not true. I think if you were to add up the total talking time, Chesh and I have been talking the most to each other.
Okay.
Yeah, we have.
We'll tell Chesh to shut up.
And that's
after
just being
this.
fair.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have totally taken advantage of that. Honest.
Okay. All right. So the way that they introduce Carnage is really fucking stupid, and the whole licking the lip thing and incorporating his blood. I don't remember that ever being a part of how Carnage is seen.
This isn't blood. This isn't blood.
Because then that means every time Tom Hardy gets a paper cut, there would be a technical symbiote.
He's leaking venom symbiotes. Yeah.
And every time he transfers or goes to a new host, they would be integrated with his blood no matter what. And so
for people who might not be aware, the symbiote is supposed to be, technically speaking, asexual. It reproduces on its own. What happens is that Eddie Brock goes to jail or prison and is in a cell right next to Carnage, basically, right next to what is supposed to be Cletus Cassidy, the world's most fucking notorious serial killer. Venom then has babies, basically, or a baby, and that becomes Carnage as it attaches itself to Cletus Cassidy, and they become Carnage. It's a fucking stupid way to introduce it in the movie, where it's just like Cletus literally bites fucking Tom Hardy's character, Eddie Brock, and then ingests some symbiote which somehow becomes Carnage. And there's just so much. And look, I'm fine with comic origins changing for the better. I'm fine with sometimes it changing for the worse. I'm fine with any movie that decides that because it's a comic book that they need to change something to make it make more sense coming in. This does not do that. This just makes it fucking stupid.
They make it semi-sudden. It wasn't like a lead into, this is how Carnage reproduces, and then did an hour-long thing. It was literally just by happenstance, Venom, symbiote, does what symbiotes do, and creates more children. And just that's how it happened, and it just fucking happened. And the thing is they're trying to also get your investment into the character, the serial killer, by leading into the movie with a 15-minute segment on it, and it was just it is unnecessary, irrelevant information to us. And maybe it was the whole relationship of Screams McGee. But
I was about to bring up Shriek.
Yeah, and the problem I have with that is, sure, that's their own history, but that should be a part of Carnage's separate movie or separate line that shouldn't be included in Venom, because Venom's more of an anti-hero. So for him to take the stance of a hero in this, also just it doesn't jive right with Venom's mythos, I guess.
Venom being the lethal protector, the anti-hero. Basically, this is one of the things that I really found was kind of shit, because you didn't hear about Cletus Cassidy until the end of Venom, right? But what they should have done was they should have looked at Marvel and gone, okay, well, let's do it how Marvel do it, except let's do it a little bit different. Instead of making a Carnage movie of this is how Carnage came to be, do a Cletus Cassidy movie and have it be the prequel to basically, Let There Be Carnage. So that you get to see Cletus Cassidy, doing the whole I grew up as a child serial killer basically, and go through that story, right? And then at the end, having Eddie Brock locked up in the prison with Cletus Cassidy, because, at the end of Venom, you could do the whole he's being chucked in prison because of destruction of property, because they think that he's killed that CEO that was the other symbiote, that there's this whole thing there, because Eddie just saves the day and runs away somehow and escapes from that scene, instead have Eddie get locked up, and then that's how the Carnage thing can start, because then you've got this other movie that you could have done, which is almost kind of moving towards that Marvel kind of feeling of doing something different than just having a superhero movie. That you could have had a thriller horror where, somebody has to track down Cletus Cassidy.
And there's a movie series that does almost exactly that, but they do it so fucking well, and that was the Unbreakable series,
Mm.
right? Because you got Unbreakable, you got Split, and then you have Glass, right?
Yeah.
And I think that was really well done in the way that they presented the individual movies to coincide without making them like obvious, you know what I mean? And for most people, they didn't even know that Split was a part of the Unbreakable until Glass came along, and people were like, "Oh, right."
Oh,
You know, like,
now it makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. Now I can tie this together because there they both are. Yeah, exactly. And that's like, I don't know why they wouldn't have just like done this kind of the Cletus Cassidy thing straight up way before even Venom, as the kind of introductory to do this like weird horror movie that just happens to have a character called Cletus Cassidy, and have Shriek's character, but she's not even named Shriek, so you wouldn't know. Like, hardcore comic people would be like, why is his name Cletus Cassidy? Like, until they read the credits, where the credits would roll and say, based on Marvel Comics character Cletus Cassidy, then you'd be like, oh fuck, did we just watch like the Enter Carnage video? Like, I don't understand why they did it this way. And it was like pretty much killing Carnage at the end of the movie as well. It's just like, here's your one shot.
Yeah, there's
What?
so much more to Carnage.
Why?
Even in the parallel universes, such as what was it, the Hulk one, or sorry, the Logan.
Oh yeah.
God, I'm blanking on the name of it.
Old Man Logan.
Old Man Logan. Old Man Logan was a sick like comic, and they introduced Carnage taking over.
Yep.
Like,
we're still fucking talking about Carnage.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Taking over like a T-Rex or something like that. And,
yeah, he took over T-Rex.
Yeah, and Hulk running into Carnage as T-Rex. Or sorry, Logan running into Carnage as T-Rex. And it was just so fucking great and crazy, and having like, just that whole storyline was really good, and Carnage exists in so much more. Why kill him off in this one shot and, reduce everything that it could have been over, a quick edit.
And the other,
it just doesn't.
The other problem I had was like, Carnage was a separate entity to Cletus Cassidy, like, because Venom always has been like, Eddie Brock and the symbiote, or Person X and symbiote, right, joined together to become Venom. But Carnage was never played off as the us them thing. Do you know what I mean? Like the pronoun thing never came into it.
Let me use whatever my host is to death.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, so what are you doing here? Like, none of this makes sense. None of it.
Hey, this would be a really great conversation for your guys' new podcast, Super Friends.
Yeah, when that eventually starts.
I'm sorry, I'll send the file.
Brandon.
God.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you guys already recorded a whole bunch of stuff, and that's why you couldn't make one of the episodes, because you had to record the episode of Super Friends.
Correct.
It sounds like a great conversation that you guys could have on Super Friends.
Well, I'm glad you're here for the very first episode of Super Friends, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, perfect. The last thing I want to mention is that end credit scene.
I'm not going to get into that. I already see Jeff's eyes. They're glazing over. I can't tell.
I just wanted to shake my head at it and just say how shit it was.
I had to explain it to several people.
I had somebody literally like text me and go, I just watched that Venom movie. What the fuck does this mean at the end? And I said, nothing. It means nothing.
Yeah.
And they were like, but how does he know Spider-Man? I'm like, he doesn't. That's what they're trying to get there, that he looks tasty for some reason. Like, none of that history is there. None of the, like, Spider-Man being in the black suit and then it transferring over to Eddie Brock is there. Like, none of it. There is no callback to be made. Fucking stupid. Sorry.
Anyways, that being said, Jeff, I love you, man.
I love you, too. I love both of you, too.
I love you 3000.
And I know what you're referencing, but I didn't watch the entire of that. YouTube and Twitch debate bro politics have ruined my life. That's all I've been consuming for the last 2 or 3 years. I don't even listen to music anymore. I don't even listen to podcasts anymore. I just listen to people on YouTube and Twitch yelling at each other over political issues for about 3 years now because my life is empty and I have nothing.
There is no response to that. Other than Jeff, we need to hang out or do something.
Yeah.
I don't have much time outside of that, but we do need to chill and kick it.
I wish my time would have been better spent knowing what the fuck you guys are talking about with the Venom comic or
Probably
Spider-Man comics or Hulk or, you know, stuff that I am actually mildly interested in. Instead, I've chosen to spend my time listening to people accomplish nothing on the internet.
You mean Ben
Wouldn't
Sharpie?
it be a better... No, I'm not even talking about... I know... See, this is how far you remove you are from my scene, is you can't even bring up a relevant reference to, right? That's like, oh, you read comic books? So, you must like Superman. And you're like, no, I'm actually reading blah, 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 blah. You could just bring up a million things. Because I'm not even part of that. You're not even part of this world. I'm in a parallel universe to you. When you think of like Twitch and YouTube politics, I know who you're thinking of. And you're so far removed from my bored in, like, deeply seated botfly of a reality which I exist in, of YouTube debate politics. I know things, I know feuds and drama that no person my age should reasonably know about, but I do, and I'm invested. Why? Because I hate myself, I hate the world I live in, and I hate I see no future from it. So I've looked into the void, and it has therefore looked back into me with the media I consume.
Have you thought about just Netflixing? Just delete YouTube and just Netflix.
I hate Netflix.
Look, it meant I got to watch What If the other day.
What?
It sounds like Jeff is a Vosh stan.
I got to watch What If. It's a Daniel Radcliffe movie, and now it's very fucking good.
You can crucify me. I do like. I literally don't. Yeah, well, there's your cancel for forever. I agree with Vosh on some topic. Now you can send the hit squad out to shoot me in the back of the fucking head. Because he has some good points on things. There you go.
I don't even know who that is, to be honest.
Exactly.
It's not like you said that you love Joe Rogan, so you know.
I do not like Joe Rogan. I don't like him as... I think he would be a chill hang, but I think he is incredibly irresponsible with his platform, and I think he never pushes back when he has the worst kinds of people on his platform. And he has such a broad audience that even just a little fucking pushback will go a long way, but he never does. He says he has a, like, I hear perspectives from every left wing and the right wing. Left wing he has on there was like fucking, I don't know, Stefan Molyneux, which he's like an alt-right race realist, and he's had like 2 left wing, and he always like fights them. And then when he has like fucking Jordan Peterson, he just like nods his head. And he pushed back on Crowder. He called Crowder a pussy, which is a big win. But no, he just usually sits there and passively agrees and nods his head.
I was gonna say
that's crazy.
That's a huge win, yeah. Except the fact that he also had Roseanne Barr on.
It's a huge win for him to call anybody on the far right / alt right, any criticism, he called Steven Crowder a pussy, which is hilarious because it gets right to the core. Like, Steven Crowder has no real opinion. He just like memorizes points, and he debates college students, and
So he's like Hamburglar. Well,
no, he's much more successful than Hamburg.
yeah.
No, he's like this really like. I kind of feel bad for him because when you watch Steven Crowder, you get the sense that he's like probably really I don't know. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny when I say this. I'm not trying to be funny when I say this. I really am not, and this is not a joke. I think Crowder is gay, and I think he really hates. I think he hates himself because when you watch him, you're like, this is a gay man, and he's trying so hard to front this masculinity. Like, he's on his show with like a muscle shirt, and he's wearing like gun holsters, and he like constantly at every opportunity he gets to like make fun of trans people, dresses as a woman to own the libs, and like you're like the more you watch it, you're like, I don't know, man. It seems like you kind of opportunity like be gay because it's funny, you know. And it's like it feels like he's kind of hating himself in his own feelings. I don't know. And again, not a joke. I really think Crowder is like super gay. He just hates himself because of it, and it's kind of tragic. But he's also not very smart, and he's also very much what do you call it? The shock jock of the right wing, and he's incredibly popular. And he gets hundreds and thousands of dollars as a grown adult going to college campus debating people who are not debates and making ownage collage videos. Yeah, and Joe Rogan never pushes back on anybody, but he pushed back on this guy, and that's a big win.
Well,
That's where I was.
I take your word as fact, and I support you
Yeah,
because I don't know anything that you're talking about, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just I don't know what to say. So
yeah. Well, that's how I feel when everyone talks about stuff that I don't know about. I decided to go. I decided to selfishly ramble on for like 10 minutes.
hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nobody cares about. I'm sorry.
I just said ain't nothing wrong with that.
Mm.
Anyways, we are at 1 hour and 20 minutes so far. So if either of you have anything else you want to talk about, even if it is about Varish Stan, go for it. Otherwise, I think we can do like a Goblin game, right? We still got Goblin game that we do, and we can call it.
I got nothing else.
Delete this VOD.
We'll work on it.
Don't publish this, please. For my sake and everybody's. I'm drunk and I just decided. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Don't apologize. You're fine, dude.
I'm in a really weird place.
Well, you got anything for Goblin Gang then?
Here's what I got from Goblin Game. Don't kill yourself.
All right.
That's a fair one.
Yeah. I guess Chesh, you got anything for Goblin Game?
I actually don't. I'm like, I mean,
What's up, Kamal?
yeah. Aha. I made a purchase recently. I didn't realize that these were a thing until I found them on eBay and decided to buy them for my collection. And they are. There we go.
Oh,
They're old game tickets.
interesting. Are they like used game tickets or unused?
They are absolutely used from. These are both from the 91-92 era, 92-93 season. These are Larry Johnson's rookie season. One of them is actually where he got Rookie of the Year, and the other one is his iconic Grandmama advertisement. So, just thought that was really cool to buy them because they're going to go with my jersey that I've got back there.
Oh, very nice.
I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
I am very much not a sports fan and not into sports. But, however, I know the name Larry Johnson. Why do you think that is?
Because Larry Johnson was one of the biggest NBA stars in the 90s. Obviously not as big as Michael Jordan. Maybe that's why. But certainly because of Larry Johnson and the Grandmama thing, where he was pretty much the first NBA star to dress up in a dress for advertisements and stuff. Which may seem like a weird kind of statement to make. But later on, Charles Barkley did the same thing for a couple of weird advertisements.
I thought, okay, so I know Larry Johnson, but I thought Dennis Rodman was the one who popped.
That was later.
That was way later. Okay, so Dennis Rodman was the first.
No, Dennis Rodman was the second.
Or sorry, Larry Johnson was the first. Sorry.
Correct. So the Dennis Rodman thing came out of in this particular era, Dennis Rodman was with the Pistons. And Dennis Rodman had natural colored hair, no piercings, and had some tattoos, I think, but they were mostly hidden because he was the bad boy of the NBA. It was only until once he got into Chicago with the Bulls that he started to accept who he really was. That came after the shotgun incident where he was found sleeping in the car park, with a shotgun in his mouth, because he was going to shoot himself and decided not to. And then, county sheriffs rolled up in his vehicle and they're all like, knock, knock, hey dude, are you okay? And he was like, oh, yeah, I'm fine. It was Larry Johnson was the first because of the whole Grandmama thing.
A big mood nowadays.
But here's an interesting bit of trivia. Larry Johnson fucking hated the Grandmama gimmick for no good reason. We all thought it was great, and he absolutely fucking hated it.
I honestly didn't know anything about half of what either of you said. I know even less about sports than I think Jeff does in that regard.
No, I've heard the name. I've heard the name Larry Johnson. I know he's a famous basketball player, and I know very, 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 very little about sports. And I'm thinking, why do I know that? And I would rightfully so, because Chesh just told an awesome story about Larry Johnson that I had no idea. I was like, that's probably how I've heard the name. So that's
maybe. I mean, you're also younger than me, so I'm surprised that you do know of Larry Johnson.
I also am a fan of a lot of old. I've listened to a lot of when I say old, 60s, 70s, 80s era comedy that probably have referenced Larry Johnson in some way or another. I'm a huge fan of Cheech and Chong. They may have talked about him. Stuff like that. Maybe
in the 90s.
Yeah, maybe.
It certainly could have come up.
Whenever you say Larry, all I think of is Bird.
Larry Bird is a basketball player. I know this.
Was a basketball player for the Celtics.
Was a basketball player.
That's it. Now you've covered the full expanse of my knowledge of Larry Bird, other than it's a funny name, and me
and his nose looked like it made him look like a vulture. Yeah. If you look at Larry Bird's nose, it makes him look like a bird.
I don't even think I've seen what Larry Bird looks like.
Dude, bring him up. It's fucking hilarious. The problem is he's such a straight up and lovely person that I really feel bad actually saying his nose makes him look like a fucking crooked vulture, but you look at his nose and it makes him look like a crooked vulture.
I know there's a famous comedian that had a joke about Larry Bird. and I don't think it was Chappelle, but it was someone akin to Chappelle. I can't remember.
Wow, the then and now on Larry Bird is funny as hell.
The only other basketball player that I know besides Shaq, but Shaq is not a basketball player. He's a divine spirit being.
Divine being mixed with an entrepreneur. Yes.
Is Yao Ming, because Yao Ming is probably, if you were to be like, if you got Yao Ming in like his like late 20s, early 30s, and you were to just like put him in cryostasis, and then aliens came over and they're like, send us your most supreme being, and then we just like this fucking 7 foot tall, just powerful athlete man. Be like, this is the ultimate human being.
Here, have this uncharacteristically tall Asian person.
But who's
Like,
also
how would you feel
professional
being Yao
athlete.
Ming and having to go back to Asia, like literally looking down on everyone?
If I were Yao Ming, I feel like a fucking god. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
Like,
I mean, he's treated like a god still over there, so you know.
not only is he like incredibly tall, not just uncharacteristically for that demographic, but just like as a human being.
Oh yeah.
And that, but he's a professional athlete. Trust me, I'm not a. I say sports ball ironically sometimes, but I understand the time and the patience and the dedication and the struggle it takes to get that fucking good at.
Yeah, and Yao Ming was an amazing basketball player as well.
Physical effort, right?
Hmm.
So he's like fit as fuck and tall as fuck and skilled as fuck. Like this, he like God. What a fucking physical wonder that man is. Like holy shit. Anyway, I see the rest of my time. Look, we're trying to wrap up the podcast, and we're already
Oh
at.
yeah. I guess I'll show my Goblin game. It's not as exciting as Larry Bird, but
Or Larry
Nothing
Johnson.
or Larry Johnson.
Nothing is as exciting as Yao Ming.
This is a shotgun microphone Rycote holder. A bunch of these came in today to go with the shotgun microphones I bought for the stream, so that we can see what it's like to step away from the microphones that we have in front of our
That
face.
really looks like a testicle torture device. I'm just telling you.
It's pretty close, actually. Let me see if I can open this and show you what
I thought you were going to say,
looks
let
like.
me see if I can put this on my testicles.
Yeah. Let me see if I can preview this product for you, Jeff. There we go. So it
doesn't have an anal clamp.
What it does is it's actually a shock mount for this, so it moves, but it's made out of like a poly plastic like composite, and so it absorbs all the shock off of it. So if you hit one side, it doesn't reverberate the sound and stuff like that. And the shotgun microphone just fits and slides right in there. So it's really nice, especially for boom pole stuff like that. But the way that we're going to mount them in the stream is off of another mount that we have for our face cam. So all of this should physically just line right up and sit right in, and should be easy peasy to set up and deal with. So yeah, that's it. That's all the excitement. But yeah, so hopefully we'll test out 3 of the microphones on it. Unfortunately, I think the producer mic is going to have to stay as the one in the face, just for layout and stuff like that. But we can definitely test the rest of them with the shotgun mics and see how it goes. See if you guys like it better. See if it's easier on the host. We're not dodging around the microphone. You can hear us when we sit back. You can hear us when we lean forward. You can hear us when we talk away from the microphone. So this will make
Makes
a
sense.
big difference for us, and hopefully make it easier for us to feel more natural at the table, which is something that I want to make sure that everyone, has a good experience on the stream, including hosts. So
If you want them to feel more natural, you should just get them to do it naked.
I feel like TOS has an issue with that.
Correct.
NTG strategist, is this a competition of some sort, facial hair or something? I think it's going in a progressive. Actually, I think Jeff has more facial hair than me right now.
No, I have really bad facial hair, and it's really not good. The lighting is good in the, but I looked at myself in the mirror after my date, and I was like, wow, I look like I don't look good at all. This is not good facial hair, trust me. It's the light, it's the magic of light and camera. I guess here's what I'll show off. I pulled an old CD holder I have under my desk, and I'll show off two things I have in here. I have a
Sublime
bootleg.
CDs.
I have a bootleg copy of Armored Core 3,
Oh shit!
Which is a great game, by the way.
which my friend burned for me on. Remember when that's how we used to pirate games? And I have in here, let's see, I have a. No, I can't show that one. Da, da, da. I have a original copy of Phil Collins' "No Jacket Required."
Oh shit!
Okay.
Very nice.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's my Goblin game. And I saw some CDs in there that brought back some bittersweet memories. Yeah.
It's funny you should mention CDs. I think it's this one. Because
All right.
this
good.
is a studio copy. And the only copy that I could find of
And thank you
of-
for the 8-month subscription, by the way.
of our old LP that we recorded back in, well, it says 2000, but this would have been, we actually recorded this in 1999.
You still need to send me those files. You've shown this before. You've talked
I-
about this before.
I can't send anyone these files
Why?
because I have no way to convert this copyrighted compact disc because it doesn't play on an Xbox.
What?
And I have no CD or DVD drive in this PC or in any of my PCs or laptops in this house.
You know you could get a CD to USB, right?
Except I don't have a CD player.
No,
No,
we're saying
I-
that
I
it's
got-
the device. Yeah.
Oh, I spend money on a device just so that I can copy down like this old Traces CD.
Yes.
I
That's,
got one right here.
Money,
How
money
much
to be
cost
used
me?
for no good reason.
I think it's a good reason. And yeah, Jeff's got exactly what I was gonna say, which is they make the devices for that shit for cheap.
Anyway, I've sent you guys a link to that one Traces video from a long time ago. Anyway, way back.
All right.
And that was
well,
embarrassing enough.
I will fucking buy you a CD to USB. All right.
Although I did find some files from the old band Cavity that I did. So here in Australia, we have a radio station called Triple J. They play like a lot of indie stuff, and they have their Hottest 100. And we actually made it onto the Hottest 100 under the band Cavity back in, I think it would have been 2002, 2003. And I actually found those recordings, and I have actually made files of those. So I just need to clean up one of the files, and then I might send you guys a couple of the files so that you can laugh at how Jeff Buckley I sound.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, we'll be waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll be waiting. We'll be waiting.
All right. Well, I think that's it for our
Yep.
show here tonight. Thank you very much, everyone who's joined us so far. We're MTG Lexicon and Commander Crunch, and hopefully we'll get Sam on one day. I don't know if we'll ever see him again at this point. He might break his left testicle and be out for another 15 months. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I hope Sam's doing all right.
I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah. I'm sure he's just jerking it with his other hand now.
Yeah, unfortunately. And if you're out here listening, we got 5 of you.
Thank you.
Don't kill yourself.
Yeah, don't kill yourself.
Don't do it.
And quit smoking.
His other testicles are working overtime.
And quit smoking. I'm trying to quit smoking. I really want to right now, but I got a patch on.
It's a start.
I'm gonna try and make the healthy decision and not do what I want to do, which is
not everyone could cold turkey like I did.
Oh, you're right. Not everyone can.
Most people can't. So that's the thing with nicotine addiction.
Nicotine addiction. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
thank you very much, everybody. We will see you tomorrow here on the Commander stream, aka known as MTG Lexicon, and yeah, I look forward to it. Also, what is it? The 12th? Let me double check this. The 18th, I think. We have a very special guest coming down, aka known as Lenny.
Yay! Lenny's great.
I don't know. I didn't read the host chat. I'm out. I don't know anybody.
All right. Well, we will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much. And yeah, take it easy.
Bye. I'm an octopus face.